There we go. And if you ever need an agent downtown condo area, Julia is the one to call.
In Toronto.
Yes.
Toronto.
Okay, so last week, obviously, we talked about questions and that asking questions is one of the number one ways to determine if you've had a successful day, how many questions have you asked, and the best way to get new people into your database. So I have my notes here on how many questions I asked my warm to semi-new warm clients. Before I go, does anyone want to start?
I'll start with because James and I did an open house on Sunday, and it was James' pretty much first open house that he was going to do, and we went over, questions. And what I explained to James is, don't feel bad about asking questions. I think sometimes we feel like, oh, I don't want to be too intrusive. I don't want to ask too many questions. I don't want to, and the mindset you got to have. And what I told James is they came into the house that we're hosting. So therefore, we get to ask questions now because we're not bothering them. They're the ones that came into us. We get to now ask 1,000 questions. And those questions, one of those is going to hit, right? The first thing we always tell clients, hey, welcome. What brought you in today? Great. Thank you. Please sign in. And then that's where the questions start. What brought you in today? When are you making a move? Is it just you and your spouse? Is it kids? You start asking questions because one of those is going to hit. And all of a sudden, they're going to start telling you everything you need to know about why they're there and what they're doing and all of that kind of stuff. But you can't feel bad. You got to keep on asking those questions and not be shy about it. Because again, they came into that house, therefore you know what? You have my attention and I'm going to use it.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. And to Scott's point, as a reminder to everyone usually is we are in a sales business. You're a salesperson. You do have to remember that. And we have scripts and dialogue to help with those questions. But that is something that I know people get stuck on and I get stuck on too. And it's like, oh, I don't want to say it in like, I don't want to be too pushy or too salesy. And to Herb's point, they came to you, especially at an open house.
Yeah.
Nancy, go ahead.
I think too, it doesn't always have to be about questions. You can ask a lot of questions without asking a question. Like if I said to you, hey, I really love this area of Oakville. It's going to give you the impulse to say, well, you know what, I'm time to move somewhere else. Or you're going to say, oh no, I really want to stay here. So I've just asked you a question without asking you a question.
Yeah, and actually when I was going over, how many questions I actually asked people, I realized if you especially on like a newer lead that I got, I didn't fully ask a question with, a question mark, but I said, if you are interested, this is what I do. And they were like, oh yeah, that sounds good. So it's not so much a pushy question, it's just an opportunity. Anyone else want to share how many questions? Did you track it?
I wrote this down last week to remind myself because I'm like so in it in the meetings and then I leave and I'm like, oh, I have no idea what we talked about. So I was actually just speaking with a friend this past week who is renting. I helped her get into her first place a year and a half ago. And she's like, oh, we're talking about our next step, but like I've heard that the condo market is bad and all this stuff, right? And then I knew exactly what to say, but started it as a question of like, well, what makes you say that? What did you hear? And hearing it from her perspective helped me bring it around a bit better. And now this girl's sending me listings. So we're going to be, it was that simple. I'm like, just think about it. Whatever. It's bad for some people. It's good for a first time home buyer who wants to be in a condo long term. So the question, angle really helped.
James and I had a couple come in and it was my turn to greet them. And they're walking in, they're being very reserved, very quiet, didn't really say much. Right away, he told me, oh, I'm already working with an agent. And I'm like, no problem, please take a look. And then he finally came around and I'm like, do you own a business? He's like, how do you know? I'm like, oh, because you drive a Volvo, an XC90. So Most business owners drive a Volt, and he opened up completely, like the smile on this guy's face when I said that to him. Boom, started talking to me about what he plans to do. He wants to tear it down, wants to build, but he gave me a ton of information. And then James was like, but he's working with somebody. I'm like, but if he likes me, he may call me. So these are the questions, some observations that you can do with people when they walk in. It's like, oh my goodness, what a beautiful jacket, or whatever the case may be, something's going to click.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point too, not just about real estate and stuff like that. I had one person I actually used to dance with, and she reached out to me through Instagram just because she saw the post about the house in Thorold. She's not looking to buy it. She just wanted to know what's going on because she actually rents in Thorold. So we got to talking. I found out she is on a property search long term. I was talking to Scott, and I was like, I don't want to, share too much because it sounds like she's working with an agent. And he said, all she said was she's on a property search. She did not say she signed a contract with anybody.
That's right.
She did not say she's working with a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took the opportunity to ask more questions in kind of, just like a friendly way, but more than I would have if she had just reached out. I answered her question and left it, and we didn't have this conversation a week ago about asking questions. Anyone else want to share what they've seen over the last week? Any reminders they've set for themselves? Any traction they've gotten? Okay, I will go. So my first one, I'm working with her. She is a buyer client. In the last week, we already had showings booked before last Wednesday. But since then, just via DM and text message, I asked her 6 questions since last week. And that's not including in person when we were like at the showings and stuff. Asking questions about showing times, rebooking showings, deal breakers. She mentioned a couple of things. And I was like, well, is this a deal breaker? Or is this something that you would be able to get over if the right unit came up? And change of mind. There was one unit we looked at in there's a group of buildings in Etobicoke, and we went to look at a unit, and she said, absolutely not. The underground parking, not for me. This is terrible. Yeah, we have a showing this week in the building beside it that shares the underground parking. So first thing is like, just a reminder, this is the parking. Have you changed your mind on this? And lo and behold, that was where she said, well, if this unit is as great as they say it is, I would be okay with that. Okay, great. The next one, so not including the friend I had talked to, just talking about people I put into my database. So the second one, I also asked 6 questions, not including the implied questions that Nancy and I were talking about. First question always, are you working with a realtor? Gotta ask that question, key question. What are you looking for? Can I get your email? And I actually, after Scott and I come back from our trip, we're sitting down with this person who I got her email. She's in my database. And we're going to get her a plan to go from leasing to buying. So that's very exciting. And again, just asking questions and being interactive. This all came about because I liked her Instagram story. She had gone to see a unit in her building. I liked her Instagram story. And then we just started chatting. She reached out asking my opinion. And I was like, well, I can't really give you my opinion if you're working with a realtor. And yeah, so that was kind of what my week was like with the questions. And I will note this was Scott's question. Also, what questions did they ask this week? So yeah, so that is kind of where we're at with the questions. I know if Scott hops on or when he comes back, I would say next week and the week before that, but we're not here. Later in December, then we'll definitely pick this up again. So continue to ask questions, continue to track them, remind yourself. And when I say tracking, I did this 5 minutes before we sat down to this meeting. Like, I know generally how many questions I ask during a showing, and it's a lot easier to track, obviously, if you have it in email, text message, DM, stuff like that. You just scroll back, you look, and be like, okay, let's assess how many questions I asked. What could I have done versus what I did? But what did I do well? So kind of that would be my recommendation. Anyone else want to share kind of their recommendations for tracking questions? It can be similar to how you track leads, track listings, whatever. I know, Nancy, you got your whiteboard up there probably. Yep.
Yep.
So yeah,
Don't
there's
live without the whiteboards. There's two of them.
perfect. Yeah, so there's tons of different ways to track them, but that's how, as Scott said last week, that's how you know if you've had a successful week. How many questions did you ask, and how many actions did those questions lead to? Showings, meetings, a coffee chat, anything like that. Before I go on to share my screen with the article that Scott sent me, any other thoughts on that, or are we good to move on? Good, okay. So this is an article that Scott sent and he would like me to read. And and it's his note is this agent does a good job with tracking the market. Note the numbers show the bottom was reached and now those slightly definitely moving up. I'm going to go ahead and give this a read. If you're waiting for the bottom, read this. The numbers are telling a story it's worth hearing. There's a moment in every market where the data stops whispering and starts speaking clearly. Most people miss that moment because they're waiting for a headline instead of paying attention to the pattern. Back in the summer, I shared a quiet observation. July looked like the bottom of the Toronto condo market. Not because of panic, not because of guesswork, but because the numbers had that familiar shape, the kind that shows up right before a shift. Here's what the last few months told us. And as you can see, she breaks down the numbers from April to September, with July having that dip at around 673 versus June at 732. The trend wasn't loud, but it was there. And now October has arrived with confirmation, with the average price up to 698, days on market down, total sales volume way up. In other words, more people are acting, more people are moving, more people have decided that waiting isn't the strategy. This is how bottoms form, not with fanfare, but with a nudge. A little more confidence, a few more showings, a slight tightening in days on market, a noticeable rise in sales volume, and then suddenly everyone else realizes what already happened months ago. Here's the full picture, including October. Again, you see April now till October, with the average price, the median price, average days on market, and total volume. If you've been waiting for a sign, a signal, a headline, this is it. Not because the numbers jumped, but because the numbers stopped falling. Momentum always starts small. Then she provides 2 listings you may want to explore, and if you're ready to make a move, to reach out. And then, as we always talk about, holidays are coming up. You want to share stuff about your community, so she adds that into the bottom of her article there. So this broker clearly has an eye on the market, is clearly breaking down what's going on in a positive way. Yes, if you're waiting for the bottom, read this, is a very catchy headline, but what she's saying is a lot more positive than what we're hearing in the news, what we're hearing from agents that are not working, who are saying, get out now, all of these things. So for anyone that just heard me read this article, what are your thoughts on what she's saying versus what you're hearing in the news?
First of all, wow, like it's well written. She tells a story, backs it up with numbers. And that really captured me. Like I was already looking for it on LinkedIn. It differs from what people are saying, that doom and gloom of everything sucks. She's like, listen, here people are doing things.
People are doing things, and I see that a lot online. I know that the Something that we've been seeing a lot is, or I've been seeing a lot, is realtors marketing that they sold over asking. Well, yeah, you sold over asking. Everyone's got the same strategy.
Yeah, with that.
But something else I'm seeing right now in a trend is agents marketing that they are still active in this market. That being active, even if it's one or two things that you're doing, is more than a lot of agents are doing. And I know, yeah, Julia, go ahead. I was actually just going to call on you, so that's perfect.
This is the agent who hosted that event I went to with the real estate analyst, and I think they sent the deck to Scott. So
Okay.
when we were in this meeting, and it was a meeting, she invited people in Toronto that sell condos. So, and it was at her office. That holiday market is actually an office event. Um, yeah, same address. So anyway, we talked about a lot of this live in the meeting. The meeting was similar to this, like what can we do to move past this market? And I can tell you there were some pretty heavy hitter condo people there that were just as frustrated as you can imagine, as we all are with especially the condo market. So this is what we talked about. Be relevant. Um, Keep it simple and show the numbers. I think that the media makes things very muddy. And if you can cut through that, it's a better message than whatever they've read. So a good question is when you do talk to a client is what are you seeing about the market and how are you interpreting the data? And that way you know where their sources are. It could be other agents, it could just be the news. And you can always be reminded to say that when the news always reports, it's usually across Canada, it's not specific to markets. And let's drill down on that information that you have heard and apply it to the actual market that you're looking in, and I can get you those numbers, just like develop it. So
Absolutely. And I think Scott had shared a similar story when he had a client reach out to him, send him a news article that he hadn't even seen yet. And they were like, oh, the news is saying this. And Scott was saying, okay, but here are the numbers, here's your specific area, everything like that. And it gave a totally different perspective than what the news is giving. So absolutely staying relevant, keeping it simple, getting the numbers, everything that Julia just said. And clearly what this agent has done with her LinkedIn post is exactly what you guys need to be showing in your own marketing, in your own areas. And for anyone that doesn't know, a lot of these stats and the graphs and everything can be found if you just Google Treb Market Watch. Everything is there for you, the stats, the citations, everything is there. And that's where we get all our stats anyways too. So yeah, I just wanted to remind everyone that that is available for you. And that's where you're going to get a lot of your data from, your relevant data, not what they're saying on the news. All right, so move on from that was the end of Scott's list. Thank you, Scott. Hey, it's my list now. All right, so it was actually a good segue from this article, talking about holiday party and office party and everything. Oh, by the way, now looking at this call, I'm pretty sure everyone here has RSVP'd, but RSVPs for our holiday luncheon are due on the 22nd. So if you are coming, please RSVP. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And include a fun fact because we're playing a game.
And your age is not a fun fact.
3 people told me that was their fun fact, that they are old.
Oh, wow. Can't wait to get there.
Yeah.
But talking about the holidays, and I know we talked about this during Halloween and Thanksgiving and everything like that, but it is a great reason to reach out to your database, to past clients, to prospective clients, people in your socials that maybe you have a rapport with, but not in a real estate sense, just a reason to reach out. So I had my friend, I know Gemini is Scott's friend, apparently, as per last week. ChatGPT is mine. So I asked, what are some ways realtors can use the holidays to reconnect with past clients and connect with new ones? And it gave me some really, really good ideas, most of which we've talked about before. But I want to give you kind of that additional step on how you would be able to do these things. So does anyone want to guess what the first one is? We talk about this every year.
Mail them a Christmas card.
Mail him a Christmas card is number 2. So that was good guess, good guess. Scott talks about this every year. He tells you guys he does it. Costs him $25 per person.
Did a point
The point set. Yes, yes. So deliver a holiday pop by. And I mean, this says that isn't cheesy, but so some things that they suggest, obviously, is anything local. I know, Elizabeth, where you are, you have a ton of local shops there, especially ones that you highlight. So something locally made, like a candle or fudge or something like that. Also, some things like they make those hot chocolate packs. I mean, you can get them at like Dollarama, but those are really fun. That's a fun activity. I also did want to show you guys, share my screen here, and just remind you that we do have the Realty Executives Vistaprint Pro Shop. And these are some great things. I've used them for my own clients. We have stemless wine glasses, note cards, which can be used as thank you cards, coasters, barbecue aprons, duffel bags, all the apparel you would possibly need to do these deliveries and door knocking. And then we got boxes, bags, things that you can use to pack those holiday pop-by gifts in. So just wanted to remind everybody that this does exist, and I personally use it all the time. The second being a handwritten card. So a card, a Christmas card, whatever that may be to you. Now, Alroy, that was your first guess. Is that something that you do personally?
No, I don't do it. I do very little at Christmas other than I might make a phone call to him.
Okay, well, I mean, this was a great idea that you had. And I can't remember what time of year you do it. It's probably before the season starts, but you still do the Toronto Maple Leafs calendars?
Yeah, I do those in September.
In
I think I
September,
sent out
okay.
about 60 of them this year.
60, okay. Don't you worry. I know if the Leafs have won or lost based on whatever picture you post on Facebook.
I get random people stop me in the street, say, "Hey, I know you." It works well. It's surprising. I usually get a deal or two every year out of that.
That's brand recognition and consistency. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, that's why I started
100%.
consistent. There's 82 games of the year guaranteed.
Yep. 82 guaranteed posts, whether they win or lose. And I never have to Google anything. I know based off Alroy's picture if they've
Just
won or
scroll the
lost.
feed. If it's the Bear, they lost. If it's me, they won.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the handwritten card is second. Third actually is a small client appreciation event. So Julia had mentioned that this event that the agent is talking about is an in-office event. I know we're all spread out. Nancy, if you're still on the call with us, I think you had said you do is it a client lunch or a women's lunch? I don't know if she's still here.
Sorry,
That's okay.
are you talking to me? I'm sorry, I had to take a call.
That's okay. Are you still on the call?
No, I just hung up. So I missed like
Okay.
the last like 3 minutes of the conversation.
That's okay. We were just talking about third on this list is hosting a small client appreciation event.
Mhm.
And I think you had mentioned something that you do something similar to that.
I do a women's lunch. And it's not only just clients. I invite other people that I think will meld very well with the new people because I typically invite people that have moved from out of town and try and introduce them to other people that I think they'll get along with. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah.
be rude, but I had to take that.
Oh no, you're good. You know how many times Nazir has walked out today? You're good.
Now that you pointed it, he is gone again.
He's going, yes.
I
He's
just
got a
feel
deal on the
so
go.
I
He's
just
in
feel
and out.
so rude when I do that, but it was a local agent asking about one of my properties.
Yeah, don't be rude. That's a great reason to take a phone call. So number 4, do a 12 days of local favorites emails or social series. For anyone that was on our social media call yesterday, this is actually something Matthew was doing. He wanted to do these spotlights on local businesses. And not only did he start being consistent with that every month, he now has 4 or 5 local businesses that have sent him their marketing materials. They want to be posted. So now he has to do it weekly just to keep up with these people. I
Wow.
love it, right? Like it works. So that is something that you can incorporate. Yes, during the holidays is a great time to start, but to incorporate, obviously, you want to be your community expert. And part of that is knowing what's going on in the community, doing those local spotlights and everything like that.
Just to add to Matthew, all he's doing is he's just using his phone. That's all he's doing, and he's just shooting it with his phone, interviewing people and doing a spotlight, and it's working extremely well for him. So you don't need complicated equipment, nothing. Actually, his phone is not even that good, so he's going to be upgrading shortly because he realizes, you know what, I need a better camera. But he's still going to a phone. Nothing's changing.
If you are ever on the fence about buying new technology and you want that extra push, spend 5 minutes with Herbert. He'll sell you on like the top tier phone, laptop, camera. I'm surprised
So
I've lasted this long.
I have one question, Herbert. iPhone or Android?
It depends on your computer. So your PC is what going to dictate that. So if you have a Windows, obviously Google. If you have a Mac, obviously iPhone. They have pros and cons, each one.
There's the political answer for you. It depends on
That is like so on the fence answer.
No, I like Android. I'm a big fan. Yeah.
I put that question on Real Estate Hacks. I did a poll on Real Estate Hacks.
And what the
And
poll tell you?
everybody was iPhone.
So I will tell you this. The listing picture, some of the listing pictures, the ones with our new listing that have the snow on them, Scott took that with his Google Pixel phone.
Mm.
So I unfortunately have to concede to his Google pictures are better than iPhone pictures. I will not concede on anything else. Him and I have been having this argument for like 10 years. But yes, very
So
good
is
point.
Scott right now retaking those pictures that the snow is gone again?
He wanted them with the snow. He thinks it's very magical. And so yes, to Herb's point, you do not need a lot when I'm talking about community spotlights or social media or anything like that. You need a phone that has a camera. That's about it.
Michelle, can I add to that with the community spotlight? I see often people doing businesses, but I also like to do and see people highlight community services in the area, stuff that can help people that are in need, especially around Christmas time and stuff like that. So like in Winchester, we have a Nor Done Center. It offers all sorts of services, and people don't even begin to understand the amount of services they help with for the elderly. And then there's another organization that does the same. Like, no one knows all of the services they offer. So it's a great way to help people and to get out there.
I think that's an awesome point, Kathy. Thank you for sharing. I see quite a few people, including myself, writing that down. So.
Yeah, like even your firefighters and, anyone that's in the community helping out.
Yeah. Definitely, absolutely. And it adds to that idea of community expert, but you're involved in your community. You want to see your community thrive, which a lot more people are going to align with that than the salesy buy sell tactics, right? So yeah, definitely a good point. The last one for past clients is sending a quick holiday home check message. And I liked this one because I do see a lot on socials in the winter from one of the teams that we know, Cronin Real Estate Team. I know Chantel joined us for a few sessions there. But something that they always put out is information about taking care of your roof, your furnace, all these things in the winter that have a high potential to have something wrong with them or something happen to them. So the example they have here is just, hey, how's the furnace behaving so far? If you need a contractor recommendation before winter fully ramps up, I'm happy to like give you mine. So it's just reaching out like that, where it's you're asking past clients, you're asking, potential clients that your friends and family with, that you're looking out for them, you're looking out for the house, you're sharing something that maybe they weren't aware of, especially I know for myself, first time home buyers, myself, I will say thank God I live with someone. My house probably would have broken down. I don't know how to winterize a house. You kidding me? He said, turn the outside water off. I said, the what?
The where?
What? And so, yeah, you know what? Thank God for Liam. But yes, so it's just stuff like that you want to reach out, you want to send a quick message. Anything else that you do for past clients or anything that I haven't shared about past clients? We are going to talk about new leads and stuff like that, how you kind of can do something a little bit more for them, but past clients specifically. Yeah, Elizabeth.
This is my second year doing it. Veteran in the industry. But last year I tried it out and people really loved it. So I get everyone who purchased with me this year an ornament. I can send the Etsy link, but it's a customized ornament that says first Christmas in, and it says the address. You can personalize it with their name and the year. And I think that's so cute for most people. It's very well priced as well, but it's just like a personalized thing. It doesn't say my name on it, but they'll always remember that I gave it to them, you know? So I think that's
I
cute.
like that.
They're in the mail right now.
I love that. That's awesome. Very good.
One thing I saw on Instagram was somebody that I follow. They got engaged, and the real estate agent that got them into their condo sent them an engagement gift. And what did they do? They posted a ton of pictures and photos of that gift that they got. So, I'm going to copy that as well. Like, life events is a huge way to keep top of mind again. And it was a simple gift. It wasn't, an expensive thing. It was just a $20 gift basket. But my goodness, they thought it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm copying that.
Well, one of my clients, I put them into a 2-bed, 2-bath unit in Oakville, and they just had a kid. We were looking, she was about 5 months pregnant when we got them into the unit. And yeah, they just had a little girl. So sent a little roots hat for winter, so they're all bundled up. And I sent matching ones to mom and dad.
Oh, that's cute. I love that.
So yeah, so they did text me, and they were very sweet and very thankful. So very cute baby, but yeah, so it's just keeping up to date, as Herb said, with their life events and stuff like that. It really does go the extra mile. So for new leads, also known as future super fans, according to ChatGPT. So creating a festive downloadable item. So I know we talked about during Thanksgiving, Scott had mentioned sharing a recipe for pumpkin pie, sharing a recipe for a dessert, stuff like that. And those are all things that you can either send out via email, or for new leads, through socials, through whatever, like on your website, anything like that, you're not going to have their contact information. So what you want to do is create a downloadable item from Canva and a landing page from Lofty. Anyone that was on our social media power hours, we talked about that already. If you haven't, please go watch the social media power hours when we're talking about establishing clients in your database from social media. That will help you create those landing pages and everything like that. Some of the examples they gave were your city holiday event guide, your winter home maintenance checklist, top places to see holiday lights in whatever your city is, stuff like that. So to download it, they really just put their email into your landing page, you add it, you know, get that automated email set up, and it goes directly to them as soon as they're in your database. Partnering with a local business for a seasonal giveaway. I think Matthew and I had talked about this. He was going to be partnering with one of the local businesses to give a bit of a discount. And that's something that is super useful right now. People are looking for gifts, they're looking for deals, stuff like that. And that's something that if you want to highlight your community, highlight yourself as active in the community, that's something that you can do. And businesses want that. They want the business too, right? Running a holiday short form video series. So meaning 3 things to winterize before the real cold hits. So it could be one thing per video, especially if you're in a position to be actually doing that thing. Holiday decor that boosts your home value. That's something. What to look for when house hunting in the winter, or how to prepare for house hunting in the winter. Something could be, you know, just talking about footwear and going into houses and stuff like that. That's something that I know when I went to Venture Away in Thorold, I had the listing, like all the flyers in one hand, and in the other hand I had paper towels and toilet paper and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely something to talk about. Engaging strategically on social media. So something we've talked about in the past is the 5-5-10 when we're talking about social media. So liking 5 posts, commenting 5 times, and either doing 10 likes on the story or 10 minutes kind of scrolling and seeing what's going on and catching up on ideas and stuff. It's very easy to get stuck in that scrolling habit, and having time set for yourself to look at, you know, what's relevant, what are people looking at, what are my clients and friends up to, is a great way to be strategic without spending too much time on socials. I'm really just talking to myself here. I need some help when it comes to that.
Scrolling.
Oh, it's bad.
We're all guilty of that.
And when they say engaging strategically, it's something we talked about during those social media power hours. Social media, they want to see you're engaging in a way that is purposeful. It's not just an emoji here or you're commenting nice on something. They want 5 or more words in a comment. They want to see that you're engaging with somebody and that you are someone that is active on socials, because they take that into their algorithm and say, this person is active, they are purposeful with their socials, we need to boost them in their page and show them off more. So things like, your tree looks amazing, I love your outside decorations, or that's such a beautiful wreath, where did you get it? Like stuff like that. Yeah. Something else, the last thing they say is be the holiday resource that everyone shares. When we're talking about social media, especially nowadays, it's changed from how many followers and how many likes you have to how many shares do you have, how many saves do you have? Is the content relevant and engaging enough that people want to share it? They want to save it to go back and look at. And some of those things. And to Kathy's point, one of these things is like where to donate gently used coats in your area, the best holiday markets this weekend, top 5 family-friendly activities winter activities near you. These are things that people want to share, they want to talk about, they want to save and look back at. And they can really be anything. One of the videos that one of our family members did recently was they watched through the new Costco Business Center in Mississauga, and that skyrocketed simply because of the shares. People wanted to share that. People wanted to share it with their friends, their family, show what's going on, stuff like that.
Especially the hook of like, I walked through this so you don't have to. Like that was such a good idea.
Yes, I'm going to tell Chantel that you quoted her.
Happily, please tell her. I love her content. And her.
Well, yeah, she's awesome, but her content, and her and I chatted, and once I saw the momentum of the video, I reached out to her and said, look, you've been attending these social media sessions. Can I ask if there was any influence from that into how you did your video? She said, absolutely. She said the way I wrote the caption, the hook, the text over the front, and I think in the week after, like within 7 days of her posting that video, they gained 200 to 300 followers on their page just from the engagement and them being so active in their community that people wanted to share and follow along. So yeah. Before I move into the ultimate holiday lead gen strategy, does anyone want to share anything else that I haven't talked about? How you kind of get new people around the holidays? Is there any hook that you use? I know Elizabeth shared something that she does for past clients and has been doing for a while. Anyone have anything that they've been doing for a while or they're starting to do this year?
I have something, Michelle.
Yeah.
It's kind of off the wall, I'll say. A couple people, like my husband, my daughter, when I told them I was going to do this, they thought I was absolutely insane. And it probably won't be applicable to a lot of the agents here. I'm not sure how many are in a farming community, but I am in a very large farming community in around Winchester. And September, October are prime months for harvesting. And I know like my husband, my son both do it. They're doing very, very long hours. They're not eating. So I had this idea and it kind of stemmed off of a little snack pack that I do when I bring buyers looking at properties all day long. I give them a little snack pack. It has a little label on it. So what I did was little snack packs for farmers, and I had a thank you label for what they do and putting food on their table. And I had a box of them in my car, and I do so much driving. I made sure it wasn't inconvenient. If I saw them and it was convenient, I'd stop and I'd run out and I'd give them some snack packs, and it was absolutely amazing. I had a call like 15 minutes after I dropped off a few at one farm, and the guy was telling me that the farm down the road, her husband passed away and it's going to be up on the market. So I took that lead and met with them. As well, one of the farmers sent a picture of it out to a whole bunch of other farmers. So it was just incredible, the results.
I love that. What a great way and really forward facing with the giving back to your community. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, and super economical.
Yeah. That's fantastic. I love that. Well, I don't think you're crazy or off the wall. I think that's a fantastic, unique idea.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else want to share before we move on?
Just as an aside quickly, can we talk about how you and I posted a extremely similar TikTok within like 5 minutes of each other? And I want to know what you had to search to find that sound.
I don't want to tell you.
I'll tell you, I just searched ooh, ah, and it came up.
Okay, so I did the same thing, except it didn't come up for me.
Um,
So I did that, and then I searched open house because I know so many realtors have done that video.
yeah,
And then obviously it came up, and I was like, okay. But then I saw yours, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is so funny.
I love it. Great mind.
I actually, the same thing happened today. I had a thought on the way here. I was driving, I was leaving my house, and I saw there's a house on the boulevard around the corner from my house that has these like two like brass lion statues in front of it. And I remember it's supposed to signify something. I can't remember what it's supposed to signify, but that reminded me of the red door and what that's supposed to signify. I think that's like a UK thing. And I kid you not, I opened my phone when I got here this morning, and one of the agents from my cousin's brokerage had posted that exact video on what the red door means. Like, okay, so we are all thinking the same thing.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's yeah, to your point, that was super fun. Anyone that didn't know, Elizabeth and I did the same style open house, like TikTok, Instagram video. Like her listing, her closing, it was vacant. So she was just sitting on the ground, standing around. And when Matthew and I were at the open house, it's also vacant. So we did the same video. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, I know we only have a few minutes left, but I do want to share this with you guys, and I will be sending this out and sending the article out as well that we talked about from LinkedIn and stuff like that. But I did want to share this from my original question where I asked, what are some ways realtors can use the holidays to reconnect with past clients and connect with new ones? It gave me the whole answer and then said, if you want, I can also put together, and then it gave me a bunch of stuff, including a lead gen strategy. So I chose that one. And I'm just gonna read it. We're gonna go through it. So number one, launch the holiday home hub. Think of this as your seasonal content centerpiece. Include a downloadable item, a winter home maintenance checklist, curated list of local gift ideas, a simple lead capture form. So you're giving them something, but you're obviously making them register for it first. You're getting that lead into your system. It's hyper locable, instantly shareable, and people love free stuff. All of that tracks. And you can promote this on socials. You can tell people about it, put it on, have it on the front page of your website, stuff like that. You then want to run or you can also run a 12 days of holiday giveaways. I know for me, I'll use this as an example. Anyone that's ever ordered from pens.com or pens.ca, whatever that website is, I ordered from them one time. I've gotten like free stuff from them once a month. They're just trying to get my business, but I get free pens. Show off your pen. That was free.
Check out my pen.
But
See the white. It's white on white. Gotta do one of these. Yeah, exactly.
Copper embossed.
Yeah.
Yes.
but all these things that we get, it's these free stuff or stuff off the Vistaprint Pro shops, stuff from Dollarama, those, hot chocolate kits, stuff like that. People love free stuff, and they will give you all of their contact information for it. And you can do the entry rules like you've probably seen on socials where it's, follow the page, like the post, tag a friend, and add an email for an extra bonus entry, stuff like that. So these are all ways to promote yourself, but also, connect with new people. Holiday series as well, but there's a way to do it where you can have one go out and then ask them for, their emails if they want the directions on a how-to video. So if you know how to, I don't know, what was one I saw recently, how to make, those little Christmas trees with pipe cleaners and stuff like that. I've seen those online. That could be something that you show online and how to do. And then if they want the instructions, to send their email. Like, that's something that you can do as well. Hosting those events. I know one team in the Lauren Park area where my parents live, they actually do a client appreciation event, but it's pictures with Santa. And so they have, I think it's a family member or someone else on their team dresses up as Santa. And they do a whole photo shoot, a photo day, and there's, drinks for the kids, drinks for the adults and stuff like that. And they partner with a local restaurant to do that. Weekly emails. So that's something that you can also include. And I know we have the e-newsletters, obviously through Prime Agent, that include the blogs and stuff. And they do try and tailor those blogs to whatever season it is. In the spring, they do spring cleaning. They have a few winterizing blogs right now. But you want to be hyper local. You want them to know what you know about your community. And so weekly emails can include a recipe. They can include a fun how-to. They can include a story about maybe what you do around the holidays. And then at the bottom there, you can put your listings or the brokerage listings, But starting with that local content, that community-driven content, that personalized content. This is a really good time to work because a lot of people aren't. A lot of people take the time off, not because they can, but because they just want to. It's the holidays, people get busy. The people that should be working the most, a lot of them don't. And I know all of us here are dedicated to the midweek mastery. We're dedicated to showing up. So I know all of you are going to continue to work and continue to get those leads and build that database when other realtors are not. So these hopefully are ways that can ignite some type of social media post or email campaign or any ideas on how to connect with your community, connect with your database, and continue asking questions, whether it's implied questions like Nancy and I talked about, or you're asking questions that you probably know the answer to, like Elizabeth was saying. It's important to ask those questions. And even if they're as much as, a personal question about cars or shoes or something like that, starting those conversations is key. That's really all I have for today. Does anyone want to share anything that I haven't talked about? Even just share anything that's going on with them? Funny stories, cool stories. Everyone getting ready for the holidays? Anyone have any Christmas parties yet? Or is it too early for that? No?
I'm pretty sure we have
Okay.
one on the 26th, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Are you going to be there, Nancy?
Yes.
What?
I checked the weather this morning and it looks like I've got a clear shot down on the 25th.
Fantastic. We love that.
Looks like
Flying
it.
in or driving in?
No, I'm driving because I have a date with my nephew on the 25th.
Nice.
Is anyone going on the cruise in April?
Oh, I heard, I saw.
Good question.
I am.
You are?
Yes, I am.
That's awesome. I love that.
I would love to, but the whole boat thing is a little terrifying to me. But
For a cruise in February.
Well, my girlfriend's been trying to convince me to go on a cruise. She's on a cruise right now, as a matter of fact. The one that was at the awards that you met, Wanda. Yeah, she's like, you need to go on a cruise. And I'm like, nope. They say.
I love it. Well, it's great because you get to see so many places without unpacking or moving. Like that's why I like it.
And it's
So,
only actually 4 days, so I figure it's a good
yeah.
way to break into. I've never been on a cruise either, so it's a good way to see if it is okay.
Actually, and the price is really reasonable for that.
Yeah, they're really they try so some backstory. They've been trying to do this cruise since 2019. This was originally booked pre-COVID, and then obviously COVID hit and it got canceled, and they tried to go back to the same people and they jacked up their prices. And anyone that knows Alicia from our international team, she was not having that. So she has tried very hard over the last year to try and get this going. So I'm very happy for her that she got this out there. And yeah, they've got some good events going on in 2026. So looking forward to that. I do want to share that the Midweek Mastery will not be happening next week, obviously due to our luncheon. And the week after that, Scott and I are both away. So we have 2 weeks off. And then we'll be back for around the holidays and stuff like that. But we do have 2 weeks off. Obviously, you can reach out at any time. We still have one more social media power hour left on Tuesday. And then we're seeing hopefully everybody on Wednesday, the 26th. All right. Thanks, guys.
Well, thanks for your time. Excuse me, and everybody have a wonderful day.
You too. Stay warm.
Yeah, I shall. You as well.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye.